He's like love, 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 and music. La la la, love, 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 and music. Love, love.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for tuning in. I am Jay Lee. This is Jay Lee's Corner. This is my review for Teen Mom OG. This is season 7, episode 19. But it's a new season, so I'm not sure why it says episode 19 as it's a continuation. But you know, these teen mom shows be really weird. But anyway, if you have not done so, my shirt feels funny. If you have not done so already, please take a moment to subscribe to my channel, okay? And become a whole Jaybird. Hello, Jaybirds, okay? We are Jaybirds around here. So become an active Jaybird, which just means watch the different videos, comment here and there, you know, like the video, share the videos, all that good stuff. And do not forget to hit the notification bell, because that lets you know when I have new videos up. So this new season for Teen Mom OG has 2 new cast members. That is Cheyenne, who was on I think if you Are You the One, and also on the Challenger show. And then we also have Bristol Palin, which is Sarah Palin's daughter. Cool. Macy's back, of course. Caitlin is back, of course. Amber's back, of course. Farrah is gone. Au revoir. Anyway, gonna start with Macy. I know I do person by person. I can't go all the back and forth thing, but you know what I'm saying. Have a seat, sit down. It's gonna take a little bit of a minute because it's 5 people, and you know, not 4. And it's a new season, so you know, get your little drink, get your little wine, little cheese and crackers or whatever. Have a seat, sit back, and let me entertain you. So the story starts off. We're gonna start off with Macy. You know, she is talking to Taylor, her husband. You know, talking about how Ryan is still, you know, Ryan's still being Ryan, and we know that Ryan is not going to be on this season. As far as we know, that was announced a few months ago that he was not going to be on the season, even though I think they probably was shooting scenes and stuff, and they just won't make air. So you know, Taylor's telling her how Ryan called him and he was all pissing in a tizzy, all upset. Okay, little baby cries. He said, you know, we was going back and forth, and he threatened to come like shoot the house up. He threatened to come shoot me. He just threatened to do a whole bunch of crazy stuff that you can't be out here threatening to do things to people. You cannot be out here threatening to shoot people, hurt people, especially not where your son lives, especially not to your son's stepfather. And for the most part, you know, Taylor is a nice guy. Like, we've never had any bad signs in Taylor to think he's a crazy, deranged person. So I would think the fact that Ryan, no, he is not an active father, he would be appreciative to the person who has been an active father in his son's life. But you know, Ryan is just sometimes a lost cause. And so Mace's like, who does that? That's just crazy. You know, we need to call the cops to file a police report just to have it on record that it happened. So at this point in time, now it's a whole legal issue, it's a whole legal matter, and they have to go to court because they're going to file to get a PPO, a personal protection order, or personal order protection, however you sit in whatever state or county you're from. So we do see a little scene where Larry and Jim were talking, and for some reason I wanted to call Larry Jim. I'm like, who the hell is Jim? I'm like, Jim, I don't know. I'm like, his name is Larry. So Larry and Jim have a conversation on little golf carts, riding around and getting it. And you know, she asked somebody, do you know what happened between Ryan and Taylor, whatever? You can tell Dad knows some things, but don't want to say some things because it's a cold legal issue. But he does say, you know what I'm saying, I do know that Ryan was upset based on something that Taylor said online. Taylor also said that's what it started from, how he puts how, based on the show, Brian and Mackenzie talking shit, and how they should thank her because neither one of them work. So they should thank her because her being on the show helps them make money. So it was something to the lines of that, you know what I'm saying? And you know, how should the conversation go? Just that whole weird part of, we also know how Ryan and, you know, did not want to shoot any scenes with Macy and Taylor, you know, did not want to be around them or whatever, you know, it'd be weird. So extend from that, what Taylor put, it wasn't, you know what I'm saying, I'm gonna come shoot you in the face crazy. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't like that. It was, I would have said, you know what I'm saying, bro, fuck you. Okay? It was a fuck you post. I would have said fuck you, but it wouldn't have went past that. So he said, Ryan sent Taylor a text, and Taylor then called Ryan. Okay, they had a whole phone conversation about whatever, and he says, Ryan got upset. He says it wasn't one-sided, meaning it wasn't all Ryan, but it wasn't all Taylor. He says, but I do know that Ryan did not handle it right, and you know what I'm saying, we know he's done some things in the past that we don't agree with, but we still love him. He's made some mistakes, but we still love him, and we just want to be sure that we can still see Bentley. And to me, that meant, Ryan said some bullshit that he should not have said, so which meant what he said. That's why he said, he did some things, said some things that he should not have. Meaning, I know what he said, but I'm not gonna say it. To them, they say, for basically what it is, it's all he say, she say. He said something, them saying he said something. It's a whole, nobody can say what really happened because who was really on the phone. Okay, but I'm pretty sure Ryan still was happy. I told him I'd shoot him in the face. So you can't say that, son. You can't do that. Anyway, so again, they just want to be sure they can still see Bentley. So we do see Amber Rogers. We do see Macy and Taylor go to court. For the PPO. The PPO is granted. So based on the PPO, Ryan cannot contact them or come near them for 2 years. Them being Macy, Taylor, and their kids together. He can see Bentley as long as Bentley's with the parents, the grandparents. He can see Bentley as much as he wants. He can also go to Bentley's games. He just can't come near them at Bentley's games. So what I like that Macy said was, I did it in a way to where he can still be a father. He can still see Bentley. He can still support Bentley in any activity he has. He's not banned. He's not banned from being anywhere that we are if it's for Bentley. It's no issue for that. I said that is a good thing to do, because if y'all keep beefing as crazy as that, means you can't contact him, he can't contact y'all, and as long as neither party, break that PPO, everything good. And again, if Ryan wants to be a father, he can do that back, going to see his son when his son is always at his parents' house. For me, I think it's a win-win. I think that's the right thing to do when, y'all just not getting along. And in that 2 years, hopefully Ryan will get, some help. He'll get more clean. Hopefully, they will grow as, or whatever. They'll both parties will learn to communicate a little bit, mature a little bit, so that hopefully in 2 years, Bentley can have his parents at least be in the same room and say hi to each other, because Bentley's the loser. Because he will never, for 2 years, he won't be able to see his parents communicate, even positively to each other. But, it was what it was. So it will be interesting to see what would Macy talk about this season, since she can't talk about Ryan. I feel like if you got a PPO against Ryan, and, he can't contact y'all storyline should not be him. At all. I do think if something major happens and you're discussing it, I get that. But every episode cannot be about Ryan, because you have no contact with Ryan. So I'm gonna need to see what Macy's gonna bring to. I'm gonna need her to do some things. Amber is still pregnant. Okay. She's pregnant with Andrew's baby. She says how her and Gary co-parenting Leah has gotten much, much better. So that's a great thing. We see Gary saying how, Amber's still pregnant. It's a good thing we're all getting along. And, she's going to be focusing on the new baby. We'll be focusing on Leah. And we can kind of, co-mingle all of that together. And the next thing we know, Amber's having the baby. Okay, she said the baby surprised us and came a couple days sooner. Baby, once you hit that 8th month, once you are 36 or 37 weeks, a baby can come at any point. A lot of people don't go to 40. So I do feel like once you are that 36 mark, it's any day now. So I don't think a baby can come a couple days early. Anyway, it's a baby boy named James. Amber's old mama again, Lord Jesus. We see her, Gary and Christina go to see them in hospital, bring Leah in, and they're happy that she had a baby. And for the most part, I'm like, okay, Amber seems pretty normal. She seems pretty calm. She's not cussing nobody out. She's not throwing nothing. She's not telling nobody, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. It was like, okay, Amber, maybe Amber is a little bit grown. She okay? We see that she goes home about 2 days later. And she brings up how she was in labor only for a few hours. She said she went and let, her water broke at around 10 something and she had him in like 1 something. So she's like, it took a couple pushes and it was really it. So, an easy breezy labor is always a beautiful thing too. She says she feels like she's happy that Leah is good, and how she's reacting to the new baby is good. So she's happy about that. And how she's happy with her new family. It was cute to see her with Andrew, with the baby. We see Christina and Leah sitting with the baby and, Gary's other daughter. It was a cute thing to see. Okay, in some way, shape, or form, they've come full circle. Amber was, I was a bit worried. Okay, even when she got pregnant, I was like, can she be a calm, cool, collective mother? Okay, and not be, this bad shit crazy. And can she stay calm with Andrew and not be like, can she do that or whatever? And for the most, now it's only 2 days in now. It's only 2 days, but she is good. She says she feels like, what did she say? She's happy with her new family, and she says for her, she can't imagine how she almost missed out on this. She said, because before I did not want any more kids. I was just like, I'm done with kids or whatever. She said, but that was more based on my prior relationship, and now that I'm with this person, it's completely different, and I can't believe I almost missed this whole new family. And I'm like, well, that's a really, really great thing to say, because that's true. Matt would have been a whole world. Ooh, Lord, I'm just so happy she's not a baby with Matt. Praise Jesus. Anyway, this outside talking to Andrew, who's on the little grill or whatever. I'm like, was he taking them hot dogs off too soon? I kept looking like, is he taking them hot dogs off or putting them on? They don't look barbecued enough. Us black folk, we like a little bit of burntness to our barbecued hot dogs. Like, we can't take them off and they look, pale or whatever, or the same color they were when you put them on. No, they need to be a whole different color. Like, the grill marks need to be on them. Like, I'm like, them hot dogs do not look ready. I hope he putting them on the grill, not taking them off. I was very, very confused. Anyway, he brings up for him, how he cannot imagine being a teen parent, how hard it must have been for her and other people before. How he never thought about having kids until now, and they're like, how are you and Amber doing now? Like, are you guys planning to stay here, go back and forth? Because he's from, I think, Miami, and then he says, no, I'm going to go back, and we'll probably, go back and forth for a little bit of while. But he said, for me, we're in a good space, we're happy, and he like, for me, this is my family. Like, I'm not thinking about the whole ring thing too much. I'm thinking about it, but not thinking about it. But this is my family. Come hook a crook. And I'm like, well, that's a good thing. He, because again, that means Amber hasn't tried to stab him. But again, it's only a couple days in. Okay. So, but it's still a good thing to see that he is happy with things. He's handling things kind of well. Amber brings up how, she's getting along with everybody. So that's a great thing. She seems like she seems calm. That's a good thing too. Even with Gary and Christina, but it's a calm situation. And she brings up how for her, she does feel a little bit guilty because she wasn't able to be sober and clean for Leah. And like with this new baby, she's like, I just kind of wonder, like, why now? Like, why could not be this together back then? She's like, I think it's because of the people I was around back then. It was basically a whole different life for me then. And I think it's true. Like, that's why I said, she's not the Amber that we've known before. But again, it's only a couple days in. This is only episode 1, so we never know. But for the most part, things look fine. Perfectly fine. Caitlin and Tyler. Oh, Lord. I feel like Caitlin and Tyler's story, in some way, shape, or form, has been very repetitive over all the seasons. I feel like every season, and I don't want to come off as insensitive or anything, so don't anyone take offense to this, but I feel like every season, Kate is dealing with some kind of anxiety, her mental issues, every season. And in inclined with that, she's not fully there. Tyler's always taking on a lot, and they're always working on the house. I swear, I feel like that has been their story, for the past 7 seasons. I'm like, I try to sit and be like, well, have they ever been doing anything else with that? And I'm like, no, it's pretty much what it is. So, of course, Kate is in the rehab. Okay, because I believe this is just a continuation. That's why it's this episode 19. Even though we haven't seen it in months and months and months and months or whatever, it's still a continuation from where we left off from. Because when we left off, Caitlin was going back into rehab to be gone for about another 6 weeks. So I'm like, the fact that she's still gone means we're not that far removed from where we was last time. So again, she's still in rehab because again, she was having these suicidal thoughts after having a miscarriage. And so, we see him talking to his mom, Tyler. Excuse me. Tyler talking to his mom. They're like out somewhere eating and whatnot. And, he says how he kind of just feels drained. Like, I'm just kind of tired. I feel drained. Like, this is and he looked like Tyler looked like in this episode, he was right on the brink of having a nervous breakdown. Like a little tick tick, he about to be there, boom. And so, you can see he feels drained. And I feel like his mother sees it, but she doesn't want to ask him too many questions to set him off. Because again, it's tick tick boom. So he brings up how it's like when one person's consistently getting all of the attention and you in the corner like, I'm saying, what the hell about me? Again, because his wife is always having these issues where she needs all the attention and he's left there to pick up the pieces and everything. And so, and you can kind of see he's stressing. And I'm a big girl, as you can see. Okay, Tyler has always been very thin, and you can tell that he's stressed because his face looks a little chunky. And again, there's no shade or nothing. I'm saying, you can just tell he's stressed because he looks stressed. And I know on the blogs I've seen recently how he's lost all the weight that he said he gained. And you can, again, he looked stressed based on, he just did. Okay, he just fucking did. I don't know how to say it. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's not no shade, no tea, no shade. So, we see the house. He is getting Nova ready to eat dinner or whatever. And Nova's like, I miss mom. I want to talk to mom. Of course, she misses her mother. And so he's like, well, mom's at work. And then, like, his mom FaceTimes him. But as his mom FaceTimes him, Kate is FaceTiming him. So he takes Kate's call. And you can tell she's happy to hear from him. And isn't that he isn't happy to hear from her? It's a thing of he's drained. He doesn't have any energy. And he's probably like, oh, now I have to, even though I feel drained, I have to now be there for her. I have nothing to give to me, but I have to muster up some little piece of energy to get to her. And what I'm saying? I'm like, oh, it's just so sad. And, you can see that he's trying to be supportive, but he needs attention. He's a little bit frustrated. Because when she's like, well, yeah, we watched some movies and we did this, we did that. And he's just like, oh. And you can just tell he having a hard time. And then, when she then says, how's the horses or whatever, they went to the new house, and how's the horse? How we had a horse is kind of, a little bit sad or whatever. And she said, well, the horse probably needs a friend, meaning we should buy another horse. And I'm like, you're in rehab. Fuck that horse. Like, it's alive. That's okay. It'll be fine. And again, you can tell that, again, he's just frustrated thinking there's something else that I'm going to need to kind of handle because, something else that she's suggesting or whatnot. And then he says, well, I want $1 million. Well, okay, Krabby. Like, no, I'm not being crabby. I'm saying you won't think the horse needs a friend. I think we need another $1 million. And I said, well, that's very, very true. So, we see she talks to Nova a little bit. Nova wants to get in the tub a little bit. And then she's talking about her day. Tyler, he seems drained. He's like, and I felt so bad. Because I'm surprised that she couldn't see his, I'm surprised she didn't say to him, honey, what's wrong? Let's talk about you. What's going on with you? Because you look like you need to talk to me or have some help. Like, what's going on with you, babe? Babe, what's happening? Okay. But no, she kind of talking about herself or whatever, but it's what it is. So we do see him going to talk to his mother a little bit later. And he looks like he's about to lose it. He looked like he's on the brink of about to have a nervous breakdown. And what I'm saying? His mom asked him, well, does it depress you? Because it's his mom and his, like, stepdad. And the stepdad's like, I don't even really know what anxiety is of what she's going through. And then Tyler said, well, yeah, because you don't see her at home all day in the robe just sitting on the couch doing nothing. You don't see that. And then his mom then says, well, that's true. Like, when you see that, like, does that depress you? Like, seeing her like that? And he was like, no, it doesn't depress me. And when he said it, I said, he finna say some shit now. He finna say something. He said, it doesn't depress me, not at all. No. He said, it's repulsive. I said, oh, bitch, that's a strong word. That's a real strong word. He said, because I feel like she's doing nothing, so it repulses me to see her in that state. And you see him snap. I'm just so tired. I feel like I'm losing my sympathy. It's like all of my sympathy it's been sucked dry out of me. And I'm like, oh my God, he's saying, bitch, help me. He's really calling out for help. And what he's saying, I know it has to be hard for. I'm pretty sure when Kate saw this episode, she probably felt some kind of way with his mom, what she was saying, with what he was saying. But I feel like what he was saying was valid. Like, I've poured so much of myself into you that I'm literally starting to have this piece of myself that is just sucked dry, and I have no sympathy, and I don't want to not have sympathy, but I have nothing within myself to give. And the mom, like, yeah, because I can't believe it. Sometimes it's just crazy to see her sitting around doing nothing, just so depressed for for whatever reasons. And then she just picks up and leaves for 6 weeks and leave you here to pick up the pieces. And I say that's true. And so I'm pretty sure, because she was on the little after show thing, and she said, well, that's his mom, and she has her opinion, but I wasn't doing nothing. And I think I knew she would take offense to her saying nothing. And I think it was more, she wasn't saying nothing as in, oh, you wasn't washing your butt, or you wasn't helping take care of Nova. I think what she meant was, you were doing a lot of nothing. You were doing some things, but you're doing more nothings than some things, and that can be frustrating. And we know that because they've shown her, like, sitting on the couch doing nothing, and him saying, like, well, you're going to get up and do anything? So I'm like, and again, it doesn't mean that you're not doing anything. You might be doing some things, but you're doing no more nothing than anything else. So we do see Tyler go see a therapist, which I'm so happy he did. He admits that for him, because they're like, well, do you talk to her? Like, do you talk to her at her when she's away? And he says, yeah, I talk to her every day. Like, I talk to her every day. And it was funny hearing him say that, because I'm looking like he sounds like I don't want to talk to her every day. Like, in one way, shape, or form, I wish I had a day to not talk to her. That's how he said it to me, okay? He said, yeah, I talk to her every day. And and when I talk to her, I just be like, and now that he said it's not a thing of like he doesn't want to talk to her, he's like, it's just so draining, dealing with it or whatnot. You know what I'm saying? He said, I just feel like we don't discuss things. Like, that's how I feel. Like even her going here, like it was no conversation. Like it was no conversation about her going what's the best for the family. She just decided to go. Like if Caitlyn wants a pig, she buys a pig. If Caitlyn wants a horse, she buys a horse. If she wants to go for 6 weeks to go to rehab, she leaves, and she does not talk to me about it. She just makes these decisions. She makes these decisions. And I remember when she bought that pig and he didn't like it. I remember when she bought that horse and he didn't like it. And I think more because she bought it in spite or despite anything that he thought. And I also feel like when she do things, he be like, well, okay. Okay. And she doesn't pick up, like, maybe I should ask him, or not even ask him. You don't need permission when you're a grown adult, but you do need to have conversations with your husband about certain shit. And Kate does not do that from his point of view, okay, in these particular instances. You don't see, he says, I feel like I'm a caretaker. Like, she will go and buy a pig, and if she can't take care of the pig, I have to do it. She goes and buy a horse. She went and bought a horse, and then she went away to rehab, and I'm left to take care of our kids, to take care of these animals, to take care of her too, and I'm a fucking caretaker, and I'm exhausted. He said, I am exhausted. I'm exhausted to the point to where I feel like I'm starting to have resentment. And it's because there's so much on him. And the sad part about it is, as serious as case issues are, because mental health is 100% serious issue. I think the thing about that is you're forgetting about the spouse. It's the equivalent of kids who have autism. Okay, y'all know that's where I work. They have something called SIP shops, meaning kids who have autism sometimes get so much attention from parents, the siblings are forgotten about a little bit. So you have to have these situations where the siblings of children with autism get attention too. It's the same thing with spouses. If your one spouse is sick with something, with this mental health illness, you have to give support to the other spouse, because that other spouse will start feeling resentment, and that is what Tyler is starting to feel. Okay, he said, you know what I'm saying, is that he's like, it gets to the point where at times I question, should we be together? Like, should we really do this? Because it's just so much on me. And the doctor then says, like, well, okay. We need some things to change. He said, yes, we do need things to change, because at this point in time, if someone asked me if I was happy in my marriage, I would say no. I would also say I have not been happy in a couple of years. I say, well, goddamn it. I don't think it's surprising. I think marriages have ups and downs. I think Tyler and Kate have been together for a very, very long time. And again, marriages have ups and downs. I don't think it's a thing where they're going to get divorced. I think it's a thing to where it's their rough patch. And they've had other rough patches, but I don't think either of them have ever admitted fully how much they go through together, how much they've been through together, with giving the baby up for adoption, the parents both being on drugs, his dad going back and forth to prison all these damn times, them trying to just grow up, then her getting pregnant with Nova, then her getting pregnant again, losing the baby. It's a lot. Okay, and now again, she has been gone for, at this point, she's been gone for 3-4 months, because she kept going back to the rehab thing. And again, he's left at home to carry all the baggage that is happening, and no one is there to kind of say, hey, are you okay? Do you need some help, bro? And so that's what it is with them. Now the newbies. I'm gonna start with Cheyenne, simply because Bristol Palin stuff was just so much. We see, I hate when my phone beeps when I'm on here, because I'll be like, who the hell? Because it's 2:30 in the morning right now. Y'all might not see this till later, but it's 2:30 in the morning right now. So I'll be like, who the hell is Lord Jesus? These DMs be so stupid. Cheyenne. So Cheyenne was on Are You the One? I know her from the Real World Rules challenge shows, and her baby daddy Corey also from, I don't remember what show Corey was from initially. It may have been Are You the One? I don't know. I just know that he came on the challenge shows from some of the show on MTV, so I'm not sure. But you know what I'm saying, Cheyenne got pregnant while she had a whole boyfriend, but she also slept with Corey, and then when she got pregnant, she didn't know which person it was, and she did not get a DNA test until the baby was about 6 months old, because the baby had like some kind of disorder, or some kind of health issue. I'm not gonna say disorder, some kind of health issue where she had to get like the blood test done. Came back, sorry y'all, that the baby was Corey's. So she basically cheated on her boyfriend with Corey and got pregnant. Jesus. I'm like, that's crazy. She now has a new boyfriend named Zach, who lives with her and her sister and her baby. Okay, it's a little baby named Ryder. Ryder is so adorably cute. Okay, she's absolutely adorable. Her and Corey, as they both say, were never in any kind of relationship. It was a challenge hookup. You know what I'm saying? A challenge relationship where you meet someone on a challenge, y'all vibing in the house. He then says when they came out the house, they still did not date or whatever. And then after a reunion show, they kind of met up, got drunk, had sex, and now months later, baby popped out. So that was the whole thing of their relationship. So it's a weird dynamic, I'll say. And I think it could be just because she's a new mom on here and whatnot. So we see Corey dropping the baby off to her house. Her and the boyfriend is there. It was cute because the little girl is adorable. It was so cute when she said, when he left and said, "Bye, baby, I love you." And then he walked out. She said, "Bye, Dada, I love you," in her own way. But you could clearly hear she meant or whatever. It was cute. It was so adorable. So, that was how this thing kind of started off. I did not watch the full Meet the Moms thing, so I only saw little bits from it. And so I don't know if any of this was covered in that, but it is what it is. Anyway, we then see her, the boyfriend, the baby, her mama, her daddy, and family out to eat or whatever. And the mom was saying how, it's so great for her and Zach to be together now and or whatever. And, she brings up how for him, it's cool that you're kind of trying to step in, do this and this and this, be there for, Cheyenne after the baby. And he says, like, I'm not trying to go for the title of dad. Like, I don't want to kind of have that title. I just want to be here. And then even once Ryder gets over, we can work out, how this all works. And I think what he meant was, Corey is her dad, and I understand that Corey is her dad, and I'm not trying to get her to call me dad just because I live there. Because some people get in the habit of saying, "Oh, well, so-and-so lives there. He sees my child more than I do. I don't want that child calling that man daddy." I think that's an issue that Corey also has too. So, for Cheyenne, she said the reason she came on the show was to show a blended family in a positive light. And I'm like, she says, especially since her and Corey was never a couple. I don't know how positive, light-ish Teen Mom has ever been. I mean, it shows the realness of it. We shall see how much of the positivity gets displayed. So, we do see Corey, and he said how when he first saw the baby before the DNA test, he said, I looked at her, she looked at me, we both kind of smiled, and I knew it was my child, and I would be with her for the rest of her life. And then I got the results. Later, when I read the results, that it was I was the father. He said I cried. He said because I cried because I was so happy about it. Like I was never sad or whatever. I was happy to be her father. And I'm like, well, that's not many men are like, I'm so happy that this girl I slept with this one time got my baby. Okay, cool. He brings up how she got pregnant, the whole reunion show, drunken night or whatever, and that's how she was born. He brings up how they're not trying to be a couple, and that's cool for him because they work better just being co-parents. And I'm looking like, are you sure Corey? Okay. So we do see her and Corey meet up later, and they he's bringing her Ryder back, and they discuss the schedule because she like, I want to get a schedule to where we'll know when you have, we'll know when I have, or we can kind of get that squared away. And it seems like he's gonna be paying, because he said it's $250 a month, okay? And she said, well, yeah, as long as you're still also paying for something else. And he said, yeah, that's cool, because he would have her like, I think he said from like maybe Friday to Monday, and then she would have her from like Tuesday to whatever. So they kind of split it up to where they both had time with her, and it was cool with that. So he then brings up, well, you know what, it is kind of weird for me because, Zach lives with you now, and, I think it kind of sucks that he lives with you because he will be able to spend more time with her than I can, and like that, it kind of hurts my pride. Well, then be with her, okay? Move in next door, okay? Be there every day. Okay. Anyway, but he said I just feel like because he lives there, he's there all the time. And he and I know it's weird, but like this is my pride. I just wanted to know that it kind of affects me in one way or the other. He then says, I thought he was trying to find a place. Like how did it happen to where he ended up living with you? And she said, oh, well, he was looking for a place. He was or whatever. And then Corey then said, like, why can't you just be single? And she was like, whatever, Corey, just shut up. But she brings up how he lives with me right now, and I don't see him going anywhere anytime soon. Meaning, if you think it's a fluke, if you think that we're not together, we are. Okay, but I'm like, are you sure, Cheyenne? He then brings up, will you be calling me crying about stuff? And telling me things or whatever. So, I'm just saying, like, you, and she's like, well, that's my fault. I need to stop doing that because you're going to do what you do now, which is throwing it back in my face, and I don't need that. I'm like, she doesn't need that. So, what else did they talk about? Oh, how people assume they hook up. Because y'all look like y'all want to fuck. I mean, I don't know how to say what's going on. Y'all look at each other like y'all just had sex. And it's a secret. That's how y'all look at each other. And it could be because they're both beautiful people. Because she's a beautiful girl. He's a beautiful guy. He's a beautiful guy. So that can also be it. But y'all look like y'all just had sex. And it's a whole secret from the world. And y'all assume no one else can see the smiles on your faces. That's the reason why. But I'm like, whatever. So we do see that she is going with her mom and Corey to take baby Ryder to gymnastics class. And Zach was like, oh, like, you wasn't going to ask me? And she was just kind of like, he said, okay, I'm going, wherever with whoever. And he leaves. So it was awkward, but I was thirsty right there. So they go and have a really cute mom-daughter day. I'm wondering if her mom went because she don't have a car. Because the mom was like took pictures. But I'm like, maybe she don't have a car. I don't know. Anyway, but it was cute to see him running around with the daughter, just having fun with their daughter. It was cute. And when she gets back home, Zach is like, I wish you would have just asked me to be there, whatever. You know what I'm saying? For me, it would not have been weird if I was there. And she said, well, would you have gone, like, but what would you have done? Like, would you have, like, sat on the sidelines, like, try to come on the floor with us and, like, play? Like, I don't know how that would work. I don't know how to kind of work this right now to where y'all both are there. Like, I don't know who does what. And, I just don't know. He like, look, I would have been there for support. Okay, just for some support, you know what I'm saying? I would not have went out on the floor. I just need to know that, you know what I'm saying? I need for him to know, for Corey to know, I'm not here trying to take his spot as a father. And she's like, I'm trying to make sure everybody comfortable. Cheyenne wants to keep them separate because she wants to sleep with Corey. That's what my thing is. You know what I'm saying? He's somehow he just wants to be with her. He do seem like he really like her or whatever, and he trying to make it work. But she do seem like, I don't really want you and Corey like kind of, you know what I'm saying, hanging out together because I just feel like it could be too weird, or you might sense this sexual the sexual tension between me and Corey. But whatever. So when she's in the car with her mom riding around, and she's like, I don't know why Zach wanted to be included. It was kind of weird. Her mama like, because he wants to be with you or whatever, and you know what I'm saying, he's a part of your life. So, when you don't include him and stuff, it's going to make him wonder what's really going on. It's going to make him feel some kind of way. And then, he said you should have at least gave him the option to ask if he wants to go, and he may have said no. She said no because he would have said yes, and that would have been the weird part. And I feel like for the most part, her mom was trying to tell her, like, you're going to have to include both of them in things. Like, you're not going to be able to consistently keep them separate. Like, it's just not going to work. And I feel like Cheyenne was not listening. Like, at all. Just, like, at all. So, we then see Corey meeting up with Nelson, who's also from the challenge shows. And Nelson, like, you know what I'm saying, I feel like Cheyenne has, like, blinders on. Like, she clearly loves you. Like, she's clearly in love with you or whatever. And I think she does not realize that when she looks at you as if she's in love with you, and she does not get it. And he says, I think she also knows I'm not ready to, be committed yet. So she's okay with that. So she's doing whatever. And Nelson said, well, maybe that's the reason why she had a boy move in so quick, so that she can kind of force herself to move on. But do you think if you asked her to leave him alone and be with you, would she do it? And he said, I think she would, absolutely. I'm like, Corey does realize, though, that she does not want him and Zach hanging around each other. And then the after show, Corey was there and so was her. And it was still the little weird flirting thing. Her saying, like, the door between me and Corey is not closed, whatever. It's like a tad bit open to where, you never know what happened down the line or whatnot. And then he came out, and even though she said he's going to be mad, she said how Zach is going to be mad hearing this. But to me, I don't think that means they're together. Because sometimes you can be apart from someone, y'all can be cool, but then they pissed off when they see how you were saying stuff before back in the day. So, that's the whole thing. I mean, I think they're gonna be a whole back and forth love triangle thing, and I'm here for it, but not here for it. Sarah Palin's daughter. First of all, I was upset with MTV because my TV thing was like, oh, this is 2.5 hours. I'm like, why the fuck is it 2.5 hours? Like, it's crazy. The show is an hour and a half plus like 30 minutes worth of after show. So this review was longer because the show was 40 minutes, was an hour and a half, and I'm tired. Okay. Anyway, so Bristol Palin is, of course, she's the daughter of Sarah Palin. She's the mother of 3. Has a husband named Dakota, who suffers from PTSD from being in war. Look, I feel like, because they kept showing, they showed Sarah Palin a couple times in the first part of earlier on her thing or whatever, and I said, y'all not fooling me. Y'all trying to make the American people get used to Sarah Palin and say, oh, she's the typical mom. She's a good mother, good grandmother. She should run for president. Nope, you won't trick me. Not at all. Not I said a cat. Anyway, she brings up how she's the only person who does not live in Alaska, how the whole family all lives there. They're all together for her sister's wedding shower. Her husband's at home with the kids. And, she's just there chilling out or whatever. Again, I saw most of the beginning part of her thing on the beginning of the whole Meet the Moms thing. She's a realtor. She brings up how, people was asking questions like, why is she on the show? I'm a regular person. I was a teenage mom. My life was not perfect. You know what I'm saying? I have issues like anybody else, and that's why I'm here, and hopefully my story will help somebody else. Okay. Anyway, we do see Dakota at the house talking to the producers. Okay, how the producers ask the questions and whatnot, and what did they ask him? He was just talking, and then he said, for him, he wants to be sure that his kids can rely on either parents separately. He brings up how I don't want to have to depend on my spouse. I don't want my spouse to depend on me fully. I want us both to be able to give 100% to our kids without depending on the other one to give a part of that percentage. You know what I'm saying? I don't need a woman in my life to be a good parent. I said, well, nah. I said, well, you know what? Okay. I said, okay. I forgot. They got divorced. When I was watching it, I could not remember if this was because she was with Levi before or whatever, and I believe, was she married? I think she was married before. I can't remember, but I know I Googled it, and I'm like, oh yeah, this is the husband who she recently got divorced from. I'm like, okay. So he brings up his stuff, and it's a tough thing because he literally suffers from PTSD from being over there in the war and seeing his people, his team be murdered, and he was the only one that made it back. So he has the real PTSD wounds, those war wounds, as I say, from being at war. And it's crazy. He brings up how for him, he signed up because it was him and his dad talking, and he says, I signed up when I was like 17 and I was never scared to go. It was a thing of he said, it's not like now you don't know if you're going to go to war. He said, when I signed up, you knew for a fact you were going to war. And they said, were you scared? He says, no, I wasn't. He says, but I went over there one way, and when I came home I was a train wreck. Okay, based on what I went through over there. And again, she mentioned in the beginning that he was the only person that made it back from his squad that went over there, to do things that he witnessed all of them in one way or the other die. His father says when he came back, the first 6 to 9 months, wherever he slept, whether it was on the floor, the couch, or the bed, he slept with a pistol on his chest for 6 to 9 months after he came back. And he says for me, I got such crazy anxiety from being over there. I just I wasn't acclimated to being back yet. And it was crazy. And they said, well, how did you kind of get through it or whatever? He says, my kids are the reason I get up every morning. I say, now that, what, it was just so sad, but true. Like, eye-opening. I don't think I've ever seen that amount of honesty from someone who came over there that I can recall. Hearing, someone's thing of saying, I literally was a train wreck when I came back, and seeing in him, it's something in him that looked like it might snap at any moment because of what he went through. So we see Bristol separately back, with the people or whatever, talking to her sister and the friends or whatever about being married. She brings up how her and Dakota ran off and got eloped or whatever. She brings up how before she got married, she was so good being a single mom and doing everything on her own and not having to worry about anybody else. And then she got married to a man who has PTSD, and it does cause issues within their marriage. She brings up how, I feel like we both were our own persons before getting married, and we were both kind of stuck in our own way before getting married, and now we're married. And, it's kind of tough. So once she's back home with him and the kids, we see them at like a little game or whatnot. And I swear, them sitting there, I was like, and again, I did not realize who he was and that they got divorced until the episode went off. And I was like, I don't think they still married. And I Googled, I'm like, okay, so yeah. So for me watching it, I'm like, they not gonna make it, not knowing that they hadn't made it. It was just a weird dynamic where they don't look like they like each other. They don't look like, at this moment, they look like a couple who's arguing, and they're putting on a united front for friends, and the only front they're doing is standing next to each other. They don't look happy, but they're at least standing next to each other, so it seems as if, oh, they're together. No, they're not. Not at all. Anyway, this is getting too goddamn long. She says it does feel like something's off with him. I'm going to ask him later. But she asks him in the car on the way home from the game with the kids in the car. He brings up, I've been trying. It seems like it's an ongoing thing with them where he has his PTSD and he has these stressful moments, and she'll know he has it, and he feels as if she does not support him correctly in handling it. I've been telling you for a week, I've been having nightmares, and my anxiety is messing with me. It's kind of crazy. And then she's like, well, it's hard for me to have compassion in these situations because you pull the rug from up under me, and I don't know kind of what to do. And then, he but I wake up every day and I see my dead friends, and I have these nightmares of them dying. I can hear them screaming. He said, how can you not be there when you know I have issues? Meaning, what I'm going through. I have these issues, but you still act like you don't have any idea why I seem off. And you know why I'm off, because you don't have PTSD. And you should know how to help me, or know how to help me cope, I guess. But I'm like, every person is different, so does she know how to help him? I mean, you would think she do because she's his wife and they've been married for, however long. But I do also feel like that can get draining. You know what I'm saying? So you may not always know what to do. It's tough. It's so tough. He like, how can you not be there for your husband? I was like, oh, it was just so tough to watch. You know what I'm saying? He was more me like, don't act like you don't know what's wrong with me. You know what's wrong with me, but you won't show up to be there for me. And then we see them at the house, like talking to each other, but talking to the producer, like, she know this and she know that. And I'm like, it's a full-fledged fight. Like, it's a full-fledged argument fight on camera, episode 1, from a married couple, one being a war veteran, the other one being a daughter of someone who ran for vice president. It's crazy. Okay. He is like, no, she's saying how for her the past 2 years have been crazy. He says mean things, you know what I'm saying? And I don't know if he just been an asshole dickhead or if it's his PTSD. I don't know which one it is. And like, see, that's what I mean. Like, what did you mean you don't know what it is? You know what I went through. For me, it is in the past. It is in the past 2 years. For me, it goes back to September 8, 2009. When my people went, I watched them die. I'm like, oh, he reliving it. He's saying that he relives that every night in his dreams. I could not imagine dreaming every night about people being murdered. That's what he's saying. He dreams every night about people, his friends, his platoon, his whatever you call the people in your thing when you're in the army, them being murdered. That's what he dreams about and has these episodes about it because he was the only one to survive. I'm like, that shit is crazy. For me, I remember when I got in my car accident and I almost died from it. For a while, I relived that. Like, oh my God, I wake up in cold sweats or whatever, because you have to get over the trauma of thinking, damn, it could have been me or whatever. But for him, his is 20, 30, 50 times worse than my little situation, because it's crazy. Okay, and then he like, I just want her to love and comfort me. Yes, I do sometimes say mean things and whatever, but when I realize it, I apologize because I know it is not the right thing to do. But I be going through these things and whatnot. He like, but I don't beat my wife. I don't go out and drink. I don't go to hotels and lock myself away. What I'm saying? I just sometimes say mean things. Now he don't say the mean things is whatever, but she do say, like, he just says these mean things and it's hurtful, and he'll apologize, but it's too late. He then says she says stuff too. She said to the therapist, she sat with our therapist and said, sometimes she just waits for me to kill myself. Well, see, now you're saying it out of context. That's not how I said it. What I said was, I would not be surprised if you killed yourself. So sometimes I wait to see when you're going to do it. I said, well, goddamn it. It is. It was so tough. Because he walks out. They divorced now, but I'm like, this shit right here, like, it was bad. It was bad. Oh, it was bad. Anyway, that's the end. I cannot waste 50 minutes. But it's 5 girls and not 4, so it takes a little bit longer. I hope you guys enjoy it. Please put your comments in the bottom in the comment section. I will be back next week for another review. Other than that, I am Jay Lee. This is Jay Lee's Corner.
It's like love, 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 and music.